Yo, we back.
Flip Life podcast.
It's been a minute.
Episode 3. That's shameful to say it's been a minute. We should be moving fast, but we've had a lot of delays on doing this third episode.
Yeah, man.
Firstly, because we wanted to be in a location that was, we did the first 2 in my living room, and they was cool.
Yeah,
but we wanted to be in a better location, so
I wanted to upgrade.
Firstly, shout out to Mr Snappy, Simon, Mr Snappy. We are in Mr Snappy's shop at 147 to 149 Bowes Road, closest tube station, Bounds Green Station.
North.
You know what I'm saying? So big thank you for letting us come and film here, man, because we were just trying to look for businesses and stuff, somewhere we could film that like has got something going on. And here is like the place people come to get their custom hats made. A lot of big people have come here. There's a picture on the wall of Wordsmith who's got a hat here, 50 Cent, all them kind of crazy things. And he's just done up this shop so nice. I thought, this is the spot, man. You know what I'm saying? This is perfect. So, yeah, that's where that's part of the delay. And then also, we started this debate. So we started the debate we're going to do today. I don't know if we'll get into the topic in a bit. But a few weeks ago, and we wanted Anissa Marie to come here with us today because we wanted to have women involved in this conversation. And she shouted us and was like, about the first one, yeah, it's great, but you need women, you need me on the show. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we delayed to make sure Anissa Marie's here. She's not.
Yeah, but also we were going to film other times as well, and the delay was on other stuff.
A few false starts, but we're going to get in the rhythm and get started doing this every couple of weeks. So a lot's probably happened. We were going to miss a lot of news stories, but don't matter. We're here, innit? So let's just pick it up. What's good anyway? What you been saying other than anything to catch up on?
Nothing good. It was just bare families' birthdays and stuff like that. I've been busy.
Tourist season, innit? My birthday as well.
I said family, innit? Yeah. Like bare family birthday. Yeah. Like, so it's like, it's been a busy month.
Yeah, boy. And you've done those shows. You was doing shows and stuff. You did
I did a poetry event for IO and Big J. Yeah. I did a poem. First ever poetry poem I've ever done.
Okay. How did it go?
It went well, man. I feel like I killed it.
Standing ovation?
Nah, but there was enough people standing, so there was ovations, you know what I mean? But if they don't get up, that's not really what time it was, you get me?
Nah, they were pre-ready, you know?
I can't lie, it was I've been to a few poetry nights and I don't really like them, to be honest, innit? Okay. But this one was like, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's the voices at the poetry nights I don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like the poets. And Ayo, surprisingly, Ayo from Ends.
Yeah.
He's got his own podcast as well. He's interviewing people.
Yeah.
He's a really good poet, man. I feel like cold. Like it's wild.
Cold.
Like I wasn't expecting it, but he did like 5 and they were all dope.
Well, I did another podcast last night. I guess that's something to talk about briefly, just on what I've been up to.
What was that saying?
But I was just thinking if there was anything else. Not much, but yeah. So last night I did the first podcast where I featured on someone else's podcast. I've been avoiding all of them, like The Plague, Pearl's one's been inviting me, all these other like Manosphere podcasts, and a podcast called Sinners Podcast. I think it's just called Sinners Podcast, or it might be Secret Sinners. Or there might be 2 things, but set in Birmingham. It is a men's podcast. They told me that they're trying to pattern their thing on like a FHM or Nuts magazine podcast version. So they'll have like, good-looking girls there.
Man said FHM or Nuts, man, that's way back. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's back when magazines existed. That's when I was buying the source.
I don't know how accurate that is to what they're doing, if I'm honest, but I get what they mean. Like they got, you know what I'm saying? They got the
lad mag.
Yeah, lad culture kind of thing. But it's like, so they got. But I was like, that's why you got. I was like, the women are kind of the focus of your podcast, really, innit?
Yeah,
and in their magazines, the women are the focus as well, whether in a good way or bad. But the reason I decided to do this podcast, because I had just been followed them a while. I said no at first, or I said not for now. And I followed them a while. And I just thought actually their thing's not toxic as the others. They don't shame. They get mad stories. They get some mad ratchet stories going on, but they don't shame the women in the same way. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. I know I'm being set up when I know I'm being asked to go on these shows because I talk about women's issues. Social justice warrior. I put the t-shirt on today. Yeah, you can get your socialjusticewarrior.co.uk. Yeah, but I thought, they might try and set me up a little bit, but it won't be too bad. They're not really, it don't seem like they're malicious. And they didn't, it went well, man. I'm saying it comes out, it will be out before this. So, yeah, go and Sinners podcast.
It's just going, you might do a run one of these days. I'm going to see Nova go and hit all the podcasts.
I'm going to slowly do it. Well, I'm going to first do the UK hip hop podcast, yeah? Mm-hmm. So,
oh yeah, also we bumped into all them, man.
Yeah, so that's another thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, we bumped into all them, man.
So we can get into that straight away. Yeah?
And then, it was wild. You look whitewashed me out of the picture.
Of the photo.
Yeah, it's grimy. Like I'm the only black guy in the UK hip hop podcast space.
I was gonna start with some shout outs before we get into and then get into that. But no. We're on that now. So we'll do the shout outs after, yeah, because this is part of the shout outs. Basically, yeah. Arms House to Your Mum's House podcast, yeah, is run by Theme and Amber. Yeah?
I don't know which is which.
Well, I know which is which because I've known of them for quite a while. I've known of Theme as a rapper for a while. I think I've had Amber on social media, like I know his face, you know what I'm saying? So when I saw they was doing anything, I was like, all right, cool.
One of them does jiu-jitsu.
Is it? I think that's Theme. I think Theme's about this thing, man. You know what
Whichever one it is. I want Jama with the other one. You take the jujitsu.
But what I'm saying here, them man made they done a podcast where it was like, because of our podcast here and where we were setting off certain drama, the MC Duke stuff and all of that, they're seeing the clips. I think this is what inspired it. Because they're seeing beef. Because then they're seeing a little beef and they think, let's get in there.
They were like, who should we have beef with?
Yeah, so they're like, we should set off some beef with the other UK hip hop podcasters, yeah? Mm-hmm. Theme try go, I don't know any, yeah? He kind of apologized for that on the time and later, and I said, no, it's calm. I would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
In the spot, maybe. I might be like, I don't, and then I'd start thinking of them. You know what I'm saying? But they're saying, we should set off beat, but then Amber's like, there's something called Orcs something, yeah? And then he says, our thing. It's like Novar, FLIP Life, so he's saying like, boom, I'm gonna, we'll start beef with them. So I'm like, beef with us, yeah? But it got me thinking.
You see how jiu-jitsu gets man gassed?
Yeah, I don't care about
MMA
all of that.
guys, you know they want. I'm just playing.
Yeah, cool. I don't care about all of that. No one don't want no smoke with us in this podcast world, yeah? What I'm saying, yeah? So when we saw them, it was all good. We all took a photo together. You know what I'm saying? And there was all the other podcasts. But I was gonna shout this out anyway, yeah? So I was like, but there's Blade, yeah? Mm-hmm. Blade has his platform.
Him and Sammy J.
Killer, All City Steve. I don't know if you know about that one.
We sat in on the Killer
the
one.
Killer podcast been going on for time, yeah?
I feel that, yeah.
And then that battle rapper Lefty, he just started a podcast, which I noticed the other day. New Guards have got a radio show kind of podcast. It's kind of similar more to what we was doing before. And there's another one called Skillet's World that I noticed. Yeah, so there's probably others, but there's a few in the UKHH space. There's a few of them. You know what I'm saying? There is a few. Yeah. But what I'm saying, any of them who want smoke, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? I said, any of them want smoke, I'm on it.
Well, how could I have missed that? You know, I got a message. Any of them want smoke, I'm on it. And you know what it was? Like, I didn't even react. I'm like, what you say that one more time? Yeah, no, look. Any of you want smoke, bring it, it's fine. I, you know what? When I was in the park with you all the other day, I was thinking, I don't mind having beef with none of you lot. Like, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. You know what?
The other thing I was gonna say, yeah. Arms House to Your Mum's House podcast. These men are talking about beefing with UK hip hop podcast. Them man named their podcast after a grime lyric. You man are crazy.
I can't lie, I had the same thought. I'm like, right.
Beef. And you want to beef with, but I don't want to be here like, we're the UK hip hop podcast. Anyway, like, we're, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't even want to, I don't need to.
Nah, that's fine, we'll take over all spots.
Thing's bigger than all
that's
of that.
ours too. We'll take that. You all been eating long enough.
I don't get me wrong.
Yo, hey, know yourself.
The thing is, we've been doing this we've been doing this on the radio show in a podcast style, but it was a radio show before any of them, yeah? Cool, this is no shots now, but like Killer Keller even said to me, because he came on our show towards the end, he came on our show. He even said to me that inspired him to. He was like ready to step out of the game and retire, and that inspired him to start his new thing.
This one's really dope as well.
He goes hard. Like his content, he does so many episodes and different types of content. And
they're all doing their own thing. Like even the new guys, they're bringing on a lot of artists. They brought on some stand-up comedian. I know Jen. Like they're doing good stuff. Like
they're all doing good stuff, man. But what I'm saying, like most of them done a lot more episodes than us, so we're new in the game, but we're just, we're buzzing a little, they're hating a little, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, the Arms House thing, I went and watched it, they got bare episodes, man. They had a sick episode with Farmer G. Yeah. And I was thinking about, we need to get Farmer G on, because I saw him on Keller's one. He's done all of them, so he needs to come and do ours. And I was thinking, there's certain things I would ask him that I think other people wouldn't, and certain conversations we could have that people wouldn't go to. But and there is, I won't even get into them now, but they got into that Arms House. Go and watch, like any fans of UK Hip Hop Task Force and that Arms House to Your Mum's House podcast with Farmer is cold. They get mad into the Wordsmith beef. They get it's a bit techie that when they get into that. Like it's interesting. Obviously, I had that conversation with Farmer one time years ago in private, but I was very waved, so I don't really remember it that well. Yeah. But one thing he does say is he's like, technically, Words this song is better. Like he says that in, you know what I'm saying? But
on the Arms House podcast.
Yeah, he says, yeah. But he gets into why Task Force fans are just so savage. Like it was more talking about brain tax, innit? And then they go into the whole brain tax story and how the fans of just like, they just hate brain tax, innit?
It's
and then
so
that's how it came to
wild
Words,
how the Task Force fans. So I don't know, when that time was happening, I was around Words, innit? And the people that will come up, man, Task Force fans are so gully without being gully at all, you know what I'm saying? Like them man are outside, man's there with the big backpack, you know what I'm saying? And the double glazing glasses, shouting that words like, how dare you? How dare you? Mess with King who do you think you are? Hey, yo. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what did you do, fam? I probably didn't know what was going on, so I was like...
It was techie though. Now I'll show it to you. I'll send you the link because Word said some mad stuff in that thing. I remember he did. I remember when I first heard it, like because I heard it before. He rapped it to me once when we first met each other. We'd become tight, but he was like, "Yo, I had this issue with these lot, and I know they're like kind of your people, so." But I wasn't really seeing them, man, like them times. I wasn't like tight with Task Force like that anyway. But
also
even
in his mind, they weren't a ting still, innit?
But I remember him spitting it to me. I remember going, like a couple of lines on there. You don't know that situation you're talking about there.
I didn't even as well. I've never heard Words' whole song either. So I've only heard...
No, I think that's it. That's the thing you spot. I think that's it. Anyway, let's not get too much into that.
Because they squashed that beef years ago.
Squash. They've got songs together. Go and check Wordsmith's album. Just a piece on the Grown Man Showcase.
Instead of talking about old beefs, let's talk about these new beefs. So all you podcasters.
But let's just give some shout outs. When we done the second episode, there were so many people that bigged up the podcast and also gave us information about things we talked about. So firstly, I just want to shout out Shorty Blitz again. We saw him at the park.
Oh yeah, he's showing bare love.
Shows bare love. I think he said he's ready to come do the podcast sometime. So we'll get him on.
Yeah, because he got a lot of history I need to ask him about.
And he showed us love both times. He's actually got a music project at the moment as well. He's got an EP. I don't know the name of it, but boom, there's an EP.
I'm gonna bump that.
Shout out to Loki. Loki hit me up, said he was watching the podcast, the UK Hip Hop Dead episode, right?
Yeah.
This is what most of these shout outs are. And I remember I said that I felt in 2006 the UK hip hop scene kind of died when HFM and what other thing went? Kung Fu went.
Kung Fu both
so
went.
So Loki was like, Deal Real as well around a similar time, so he pointed that to me. I was like, yeah, of course. And then DJ Excalibur,
I see him commenting as well. And
so he commented, and he was a DJ that was on One Extra at the time, playing mostly UK hip hop. So his name has to get shouted out. When I was shouting out, that thing about Westwood as well. I got to touch on that as well. Like the people that were really pushing UK hip hop and UK rappers at that time. But he was like reminding that his show went that year around the same time, and then Sarah Love went briefly after. So people were agreeing with that timeline thing.
If they both went, that's wild. Same year, same period, like.
And then I want to shout out Terra Slim. I want to shout out Franklin King of Trainers. I want to shout out Taz. I want to shout out Flip Tricks, Hunt, Big J, Pavan. I want to shout out DJ MK, who corrected me when I done the MC Duke segment, and I was talking about Derek B being the first UK rapper with an album, and then Duke second. He said the first UK rapper album he believes was by Phase One. He said Phase One / Heroes in 1987. So he's correcting that. So I thought, I'll just shout that out. Shout out to ODKB Records. That's someone that hit me up on Snapchat. They came for my neck for a minute about the Duke stuff. Like, who are you talking about, Duke? Duke was outside. Where was you? You're a waste man. All that kind of thing. Yeah, but by the end of it, I think they realised I was cool, and they were like, I've never heard of you. And then eventually I was like, Mud Family, like, oh, yeah, I've heard of them. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I realised he's a rapper, but he's an older guy, more of that era, but he's doing more current music and that. And we ended up kind of following each other and catching a vibe. So, big them up. You know what I'm saying? Big them up.
You know what's funny? This is like a black person won an award show, the amount of shout-outs you're giving. You're like, and then my man, I got like 3 shout-outs. Shout out to Tony D.
I've still got more. Though.
Let me throw in my 3 so you can finish. No, I'm joking. Go on.
No, throwing your 3 then. So, Skinny Man, of course. Skinny Man hit me up about the podcast. Carl Hines hit me up about the podcast. He wants to do it, but when he's got music out, he had some dope things to say. I can't get into every point. Shout out to Tiz, who's been hitting me up about every episode and just sharing bare love, and gave me tickets to go and watch Havoc. Tiz. He's been, when we were doing the lives thing, he came on and rapped on that. You'd know him. I don't know if you've met him. Me and Kingpin went and met him. We went up to one event he put on with Genesis Elijah. Shout out to 279. And shout out to Tony Spread Love. These are not people that have reached out to me about the podcast, but I wanted to shout them out because I said that controversial thing about 279.
Big up 279.
Yeah, and I wanted to say big up 279. And I think in that Is UK Hip Hop Dead podcast, we should have mentioned that them man just put on an event, like a 50th year hip hop anniversary event, UK hip hop. MC Duke and Rodney P were both there, I think, headlining and performing. Loads of other like UK hip hop artists of that era. It was at Islington Academy. I'm very sure it was sold out. I saw Blade was there. It looked like
the whole game was there.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And also just shout out to them man for the work they put in.
For putting that on.
And the work they put in the past. Because them man was playing me and you and
a few people pointed out to me in the comments about 279. I meant to look at those comments about that 279, he done a lot of stuff in events. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot with those events and putting UK rappers on as the opening act to those events. I did say that to someone the other day though, and they were like, yeah, but did he pay them? I don't know. Anyway, he put them on, he put me on to those events. I've supported American rappers at their concerts, and it's been because of 279. I can't remember which ones are him and which ones are not. And I'm saying I've done plenty of American rappers or whatever, but so big him up. And big up Davey J, big up Big Ted and Shorty Blitz. There was a number of other DJs.
Are you really at the award show right now?
Yeah, no, it's not about this. Listen, this is continuing content from.
No, you're right. It's not because a bunch of people holding me.
It's not the shoutouts. And one important thing, I should have let you do your shoutouts because this is really rounding them off. Fuck Tim Westwood. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be clear. I put out the clip.
All the way, fuck Tim Westwood.
I put out the clip where it was like, Tim Westwood done more for UK hip hop than 279. I don't want to say this I don't want to say something negative about 279, but it was kind of more aimed at what 279 didn't do than it was bigging up Westwood for what he did. Do you know what I'm saying? I was more talking about things that didn't happen. It wasn't a moment, but a couple people like hotted me for that. Danny Bones being one of them. And Jay Finks, she hit me up, she commented like, nah, I just don't think this is a time we should say anything positive about Westwood with all of these cases that are going on. Right. And I said to the both of them, I can't argue with you one bit, you know what I'm saying? In the full podcast, I said fuck Westwood last time, but it wasn't in the clip that I shared that was showing that part, so it's like, cool, fuck Westwood. It wasn't the point I was trying to make, but yeah, I agree, like, we don't need to be bigging them up, but yeah, your shout-outs.
Shout out to the Raisin Ravers lot, Annie and the fam, as a record label staff, as a crew, you get me. Shout out to them. Go get that merchandise. Raisin Ravers, they make like clothes for kids. Look them up, Google them. They're on Insta, they're on socials. They sell they use vintage materials to make like kids' clothes. It's just like
they're doing bits, man.
They're doing bits. Shout out to Tony D. We see him that same day. We see everyone.
Yeah,
he was talking to us about the podcast.
Oh yeah, he keeps telling you like you love it.
He's just like, no, but loves the drama. He acts like he don't love it, but he loves it. I was like, yeah, he does. He loves it. Listen, Tony D, you're right. No, but loves it. Like,
I love it, but I don't love it, man.
Man said I love it, but I don't love it.
I don't know. You know, like now I'm stepping out into this world. I'm gonna do other people's podcasts. The only reason I'm doing other people's podcasts is because we're in a podcast space now. We're going for this thing. So I gotta be out there.
But you're not really in like going to check people and ward them, innit?
No,
I mean like
no, but I probably will eventually.
Yeah, no, you definitely will.
But my
I was saying earlier, you're gonna do a tour of war.
No. Do you know what? I wanna. Like, I can't be shook. I got to be able to go on their platforms, innit? But I want to make my Social Justice Warrior podcast where I invite them people to come on my thing. So that podcast probably will be constant war, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, trust me, the comments it definitely will be.
But it's like, I just know, listen, this is what I don't love the fact I know the comments are coming for me in some mad way all the time. Like, I haven't done this content for ages because I had to get ready. And I'm feeling like I'm ready again, so I'm back outside. You know what I'm saying? But, like... That's why I haven't done all these other podcasts. Broke that yesterday. Boom. We'll see how things go.
Also, I got all of that by Mr. Tibbs when we dropped that clip about like how Kung Fu weren't letting in Jay and all that. Yeah. And Tibbs was breaking down how that's one of the reasons he jumped on the mixtape game.
Okay.
Like, because he felt like they weren't accepting the thing.
Yeah.
And now I realized that's around the same time as well.
I jumped on the mixtape. Me and Tibbs both jumped on the mixtape thing at the same time, but I can see where Tibbs' angle is way more that, like, I maybe catered to that UK hip hop world because it was just around me with my mixtape at that time. But I was just like, people ain't doing mixtape, so I'm gonna do a mixtape. But he did North Stars Rising
as well. But I think I went that before.
No, that was the first mixtape he did. Okay. And if you think about who he put on there, like some of it was just like man them from the ends, like youngers who come up and ended up doing other things, or that was just like in the hood. It wasn't the UK hip hop. It wasn't the UK hip hop look. You know what I'm saying? Apart from maybe me, like I'm on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I could see his angle when I look at it now. He was trying to show North a bit more of the streets. So yeah, I can see that now when I think about that going back. And it was cold. And I've had him tell me before, like I remember him saying like that he bumped into Chip or something, and Chip being like, yo, that mixtape, you know what I'm saying, what I did for North. So it's a thing like...
It is though. Like, people know about that in the ends. That's like in fact, you know what, that's part of the history of this whole thing.
Yeah, man.
But shout out to Tibbs, man. When he was telling me, I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. What's today's subject? I don't even know.
The topic?
I don't even.
I think we've done enough. There might be some other beefs, but we'll touch that later.
Yeah, I probably had other shout-outs, but you had like 40. I can't. Some of them went out my head, man. Everyone else I was meant to shout out. If you spoke to me about the podcast, I'm gonna just mention you next time because I can't remember you now. That's what I mention next time like it's fresh. You know them ones.
Yeah, it's like and the thing is, I want to do shout-outs, but it's more about like the people who told me something I had to correct. You know what I'm saying? Or like, the feedback from the last one, like, what information, new information. But
random people have been hitting me up, like, yo, I watched that, I really like it. I'm just like, all right.
So, we've been getting, that's been great. But, all right, so for today, we're going to talk about divorce. I don't really have a way of... I don't know how it was framed. I've got a few questions, but I don't know what I don't know what I'll write on the title. But it was inspired by this footballer, Achraf Hakimi, his name is, right? This has been a few weeks ago, but this is still being discussed. Who went viral because he supposedly put all of his money, or I think it later became that it was 80% of his money, to his mum. So that if his wife ever tries to divorce him, she can't take nothing. And the whole internet and all the manosphere and all the red pillars and all just even just regular man them, they got gassed. Good for him. And it just made me think a lot of things about what do we even understand of marriage? Like, what are the expectations? What who do these assets and money belong to when you're married? Like, is that do people know that? And all these kind of things, because I just realised they don't. I think at some point in my life I might have been on the side with these lot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not more that they don't. It's just how they see it, innit? So they have a conception of marriage. You have a conception of marriage. But their
conception, a lot of them, their conception is wrong. Like, marriage is a legal thing, innit? So So it's factual.
It's a contract.
You know what I'm saying? It's a factual thing. So
all they see in it really is that it's a bad contract, innit?
Yeah, so I don't get married, innit? Anyone who will get...
So that's where their beef is, and everyone runs around like, this is a bad contract. This guy managed to get one over on a bad contract. Nothing to do with what people put into their marriage and what is really earned in the time people are married together.
Whether you're not the one necessarily saying this, we're going to get to comments, but devil's advocate, why is it a bad contract?
Well, that's what they say, because the people who, like, you'd say it's a bad contract because people who normally don't ever get money taken from them lose big pieces of money in that contract. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Jeff Bezos and them type of people, and Bill Gates, you know what I'm saying? Like, their ex-wives are like some of the richest women in the world.
No, Jeff Bezos, I think his ex-wife is now the richest woman in the world of all time, I think.
So it's like, but he's never been in a bad contract. Like, he's not got a history of bad contracts where he loses big pieces of money in it.
Yeah, and we're looking at marriage as a legal business.
Yeah, as a legal business contract.
Yeah, but the divorce part is not part of the...
but it's just because he lost half his assets in that one move. There's no other move he would make where he could lose half his assets.
No, there's loads of moves you can make where you lose all assets in that business.
Yeah, but that's not likely to happen to Jeff Bezos. He's one of the richest men in the world.
All your money is the money in the business.
And also, a lot of times people don't think, would man have made the P he made without marrying the right woman at the right time? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where a lot of it don't compute, innit?
I said a few things online, yeah. Shout out to Shawnee T. That's one of the other peeps I had. Yeah.
Oh, you and Shawnee T.
Shout out to Shawnee T.
You and Shawnee T. Online, yeah. Nova and Shawnee T.
We're not getting it a lot, man.
There's bare jokes and passive aggressive.
Listen, shout out to Shawnee T. I didn't. Shawnee T inspired this episode.
Okay.
Because he posted a thing celebrating my man. It's so amazing.
That was my whole timeline. Everyone loved it.
Yeah, everyone loved it. These times I'm clocking like, is this story even real? I kept asking this. I'm like, we're talking like, I don't even have an issue with the story. I have an issue with like you lot being so excited about it. So anyway, I had a back and forth with Shawnee T and less Shawnee T and more some strangers on his page that were just saying wild stuff. Yeah, it was less him, but we're getting in it. Shawnee T mocked man at some point. Was like, go make a podcast about it. You know what I'm saying? Like in a dismissive kind of way. And then I went onto my page. I was like, alright. Because I've been sharing the news stories. The debate had been starting. I said, okay, let's make this a podcast. I started asking the question. And he came on. He went, I knew it. I'm like, yeah, full credit. You inspired it. You know what I'm saying? So big up, Shawnee T.
However, other people be saying that sometimes where I'm like, that's not going to be a subject we're going to talk about.
I knew it was. You know but around that time, and it was no shots to anybody, but it's what I was setting off on the thing, yeah? I wrote on Facebook, it's always man with no money who love crying about women taking half in a divorce.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of laughing emojis.
And
then I wrote, watch your wife don't leave you and take half of that bag of weed you spent your last £30 on.
Oh, that was trolling.
Laughing emojis. And then I said, last one, don't worry, the government won't give your wife half of your universal credit payment. Benefits don't count.
Hey, Tony, he loves it. Tony, listen, he loves it.
Well, that was not aimed at nobody. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the whole timeline, I pretty much think every person on my timeline who was writing about this story and cussing about women taking money, that applies to them. Pretty much all of them.
Yeah, most of them.
I'm not in any financial situation, at least comparable to this footballer who maybe doesn't care. Oh, actually, the story is implying he cares because he set it up. Jeff Bezos. I ain't never seen him complain.
But not at all. Bill Gates ain't complaining.
None of them might complain.
None of them.
They might agree. They might. You know what I'm saying? They've gone into this marriage. They might be like, all right, cool.
Yeah. And also, it's like a lot of times.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So anyway,
like if Jay-Z splits up with Beyonce, he's not going to try and keep as much money as possible. Like,
no, but the thing is, right? what I think it's supposed to be. Like, I don't know actually all the legal, like, you take half of the person's money, right, and assets, but you take half after what they already got. Do you know what I'm saying? Because their money's in the pot as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, if Beyonce is worth $1 billion and Jay-Z is worth 1.2 billion, then really at the end all they got to do is divide the 200 mil at the end, innit? So it's like she gets 100 if she wants it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, in that situation,
it depends just where you are, innit? Because with all these court stuff, it just depends where you are in the world.
So this woman,
so if you're in America, if you're in Europe, certain places got better laws and certain places got worse.
Yeah. There's loads more to say though about this case and the other things surrounding it.
So do you think what he did, like, so I'm saying, like, how you see marriage, yeah?
What did he do?
Like, if he did actually do that, yeah, would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
Putting his money...
Like, so he's hidden his money away with his mother so that his wife can't get it. Now, I don't know if it's true. To be honest, I didn't believe it when I heard it.
We're going to get to whether it's true, yeah. We're going to get to whether it's true. I've got some receipts.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think we need to get to the comments, but I guess I will just say something came up where it was like... I think it's definitely a bad thing. I think you're playing games. You're like hiding money that I think we have a legal contract. There's a reason a woman's entitled to that. And it's not just a woman. There's a reason a partner is entitled to that. Because we'll get to whether a man should be entitled to it in circumstances as well. But what you ask me if it's good.
Is it a good thing? First of all, is what he did a bad thing?
Say, no, it's not, I think it's not even possible.
Yeah, but if it was, would it be a good thing?
If it was possible?
Yeah.
No, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I was
It's a bad thing.
And
I'm not saying she should get half or she should get... I don't know what the circumstance... I'm not 100% certain on what I think of what the outcome should be. But it should be out in the open to be able to be discussed in a courtroom, whatever, as you do. There's a system for this stuff, do you know what I'm saying? And I think if that system's not perfect, then work on it. But I don't think it's right for someone to be, you know what I'm saying, hide everything. And someone dedicated their life. So say that this woman stops working to marry this person, creates a life choice to support them and support their making a living, and has children and does loads of things, contributing factors to that life that makes their life better. And then it ends for whatever reason, especially in the circumstances that we're going to get to, is it ended for something that's definitely his fault. If it ends for just no reason, I think you know what I'm saying, we'll get to the comments because a lot of these things are pointed out. Then, that's not right. You know what I'm saying, you're on a con, you're not gonna, like... It
feels spooky. Like, when I saw stories, saw people celebrating, it's like, why do you need to hide things from your wife? If you're living out, you probably shouldn't have married this woman. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the only thing. Just don't marry them, innit? Don't marry them. Don't get married. If you feel like you can't, just don't get married. Calm. Yeah, I'm not married, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting married. I haven't thought about getting married. All this could be part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, also, how common is this as well? Just man getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how common it is. Especially, I don't know. Anyway,
I think mostly it's just like there's a gold digger narrative where it's like, men are just so angry at women in general that they've got this gold digger narrative as something to hold on, and they just want to go,
it is part of the gold digger thing.
That's what that's the main thing, isn't it?
Especially with footballers, because it's just like...
But I'm saying it's always man them with no money. It's just always man them with no money that are really crying about it.
Because every single broke person dreams of what their life will be when they're rich. And rich people don't care. You know what I'm saying? So broke people are there like, when I'm rich, no woman's taking my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, but every single rich guy has got a dream. Every single rich girl's got a dream. You see, when I'm rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, I know broke people. I got a PhD in broke people. Trust me, broke people are there like, nah, that would never. You think I'll ever let? You think what, Bill Gates? 400 million? Are they mad? Never. I'll never allow it. It's like, man ain't got £4 in his savings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like.
Anyway, all right. Have you got the comments that I screenshotted? Bring something up. Let's go. I got one here. Then you
which one you gonna do? The Bucci?
Yeah, I was at the first one. So Butchie, I don't know if it's Butchie, and I fuck with this guy as well. Butchie Byron Banton said the whole story smells fake and stinks anyway, but let's say it's real. Even if he hid his assets and paid his wages into his mother's account, this is neither here nor there. Moving forward, she'll get alimony or child maintenance from the wages he earns for the next 10 to 12 years on his playing career. That's the way the world works. And a few people pointed that out. You're going to get child maintenance.
Yeah.
But that's separate though.
And alimony as well. Right?
What's alimony mean?
So that's like a monthly payment based on like, so it's usually based off what you're earning, not your assets.
But it's to do with having kids, or is it to do with divorce?
Divorce.
And that's something to do with the lifestyle that she's maintaining or something.
Yeah, so it's to do with divorce. Basically, you get a certain amount.
So that's to do with what the purpose is. Like, why is it saying that if you've lived a certain lifestyle,
for a number of years,
because like I said, you decide not to work, you decide to just like have kids, run the home, then all the like that's work. Do you know what I'm saying? They're still coming in the comments again, but it's like that's work, and people aren't respecting that as work. People actually get paid for that, to child mind, to clean, to cook. It's a profession, so someone's doing that full time. They might even be working more than. You know what I'm saying?
Often time.
You know what I'm saying? More than the person they're married to. They're working on stuff in the house, so it's like that is what they're doing, that work, so you can go to work. So that's making the money. That's part of making the money. That's the point, isn't it? And
it's part of the life.
And it's like they decided to live that life. They could have got a next job, been earning some whatever per year by now. So they got to be patterned by the money that was made in that circumstances while they chose to do that for their work. That's what it is, isn't it? But he's basically saying, though.
But Liam Don Kofi says she wasn't with him shooting in the gym.
But yeah, I'm glad you said that.
She'll still get money for her and the kids, but she doesn't need half his wealth. She's got bread too.
This guy,
that's the wrong two though, fam.
Oh no, he's a different guy. I thought it was a guy at Beef. He's cool. Me and him go at it sometimes, but not on a mad one.
Yeah, look at Novar. Have I got beef with this one? Hey, listen, no. This one I ain't really got beef with. It's like a half beef.
So did you finish his comment? Yeah,
that's the end of his comment.
So that's the end of the comment. All right, cool.
Like so,
he said she wasn't shooting in the gym. Yeah,
that's how he started this.
So
she wasn't with him shooting in the gym.
So that's been quoted a lot. Yeah. So let's break that down. Where's that from?
Drake. Talking about Kobe. And Kobe's wife, yeah.
Kobe, I hate it. It had to be him because Kobe and his wife was getting a divorce. Did they get a divorce?
No,
they didn't get a divorce. But do you know what Kobe thinks about that?
About the line?
Yeah.
No.
I'm saying the wife made a whole statement, sending shots saying this ain't it. Yeah. Kobe made a tweet saying she was raising my kids. Yeah. Then he actually took later. There's a video of her, like I think even throwing backwards, like throwing the basketball backwards, and it goes in like from the free throw line and that. And he shared it on Instagram. I was like, she's with me shooting in the gym. You know what I'm saying? And she came for him. He came for him. Drake apologized. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Drake apologized for that line because they all told him that ain't it. I want her looked after. And here's the question I wish I asked this online and got comments. This is the question I want to ask. So all you people who felt she wasn't with him shooting in the gym, she ain't entitled to none of the money, what do you think now that he died? Do you think she should get nothing?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Because the energy you're acting with is like, what, you think it should go to his mum? Because that's what they're saying. The mum should.
Where she's raising all his kids.
And I'm not saying mum shouldn't. Shawnee T was saying, mum's like, he was talking about me having a cultural barrier and that mums are supposed to be looked after. And I'm not disagreeing with you about mums being looked after or whatever. But
that's not what that story is about.
Yeah, it's not what that story is about. That was his angle, innit?
Oh, he's looking after his mum.
Yeah,
no, that's not what people were sharing it for.
Yeah, I said, don't try it like this is some righteous thing about looking after your mum. Because the mum should be looked after. If the wife, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's still there to look after his mum. In a situation where if the money's all gone to the wife, maybe someone will have a will to look after their mum or that kind of thing in that situation. But I just think I find the Kobe Bryant thing so deep when you break it down and look at what actually happened, and people love sending that comment
because he passed. He
passed, and it's like, what, you think she shouldn't have the money now? She shouldn't have the money in her situation. Look what just happened. Who else should? And like also just the fact that he doesn't, like, the person you're saying that for didn't rate it. the person you're quoting that for didn't rate it. Do you know what I'm saying? He didn't rate it one bit. And once the person who said that line realised that, he didn't rate it himself and apologised that he realised he said a dumb thing.
That line got legs in it. It's like
line's hard though.
The line's fire in it. It's got legs in it.
There's never going to be a time, I'm going to be honest, there'll never be a time that comes on in the club and the line, when it repeats that, I'm not going to say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it. I'm going to wave my hands up.
Look a quick R.I.P. Kobe once he said it.
I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
She wasn't with you shooting in the gym. No.
But yeah, it's not that.
I love it.
What else you got for me, man?
He's got... These people was vexed about this whole thing.
You can bring out the comments and I can just beef them.
Seems like not the nicest character. Hold on. Seems like not the nicest character. Out of interest, did you support Ray Parler's settlement years ago in the landmark case that entitled his wife to a percentage of all future earning too? And then you replied, I'd have to read into it properly, but just spending a few seconds doing that now, it was a third of his earnings for 4 years, not all future earnings, which makes sense since ending marriage suddenly can mean your planned future completely changing financially. Also, she settled for a lot less than half his current assets. Doesn't seem that deep at all. In fact, seems quite right.
Yeah,
people was writing essays.
So that was some of the essays I had to leave them out, but that was a person bringing up a good example. I felt because they were like, this person, she got entitled to something of future earnings, yeah? Mm-hmm. So this is what the discussion is, isn't it? Is like, what's fair? Nobody's, on all these comments, no one's really giving me an answer to this, what's fair? And I think it's different for everybody,
4 years is fair.
But like, what people base it on, like, okay, here's one example that I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I think the person wasn't happy, is Dr. Dre. He didn't say he wasn't happy, but he was happy about being divorced. Like, he made some funny things, like, just divorced, all of this, like. People were like, she got given this amount a year. Oh my God. It does, but they're thinking of themselves coming out of that money, innit? They're not thinking of a billionaire, close to a billionaire coming off that money. And it's not half. It's way less. So even when they're not getting nowhere near half, they're just getting patterned in a way that you can't fathom in our world without that kind of income. It just drives people crazy. Most of these women are not getting half. Like Dre's wife is not getting anything close to half. But she's cool, you know. She went into court fighting for the most, because you fight for the most because they're going to fight you down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Also, she's a lawyer.
So the other example that you brought up now, they said, they're getting future earnings. I'm like, yeah, cool. And then like I said, when I looked into it, it was like for 4 years. So it was like
4 years seems fair.
What it was, and it's like, and it was like not getting half now. Yeah, she was getting a couple mil now out of what's there now, not a half, no way half. Just like, here's to pattern you as a setup, and then 4 years of this percentage of earnings. So it sounded like they made an agreement. It wasn't, again, it's probably the numbers that we can't fathom, like, there's so much money, but it's not, that woman did not take half that guy's money. You know,
shout out to Ray Parler. Man, just like him, innit? Obviously, there's a big other point in it that, well, these women are anonymous, innit? We don't know them, innit? We like these men.
Do you
know what I'm saying? They're popular, they're talented, they're skilled, they've done something that makes us watch them regularly. God forbid, but when Rihanna and A$AP Rocky split up, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the world's going to be like, God forbid, innit? God forbid, ancestors forbid, whatever.
What, you're saying Rocky's
going to be getting the alimony money, innit? Every month,
I wonder how much you think he's worth?
She's
worth $1 billion, innit?
She's $1 billion, innit? So he's not worth $1 billion, innit?
He might.
But he helped her.
He is? 100
he's going to help her raise her kids when she's on tour.
100 M's or less than 100 M's? 30 mil. 30 mil, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. So I'm saying, like, if they ever do, God forbid, he's going to be getting the alimony payments.
He might not take it.
She's now created a lifestyle for him, which she has to maintain if they divorce. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He's also probably the house husband a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He's
been getting called out. Did you see when she had the front cover and he's holding the baby?
He's holding the baby in the hand.
He got hotted up.
Yo, people did not like that. Man was vexed. But what I'm saying is,
they're like, he's being emasculated. But I'm like,
what I'm saying is, in that situation, do you think?
Man, am I soft? I just want to big that up because I saw that whole thing, and I was just like, yo, there's a man holding his baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm standing behind his woman who's doing something. It's a women's magazine cover. Of course, she's just her moment to shine. There ain't nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong with that. I'm saying, to me, that's masculine.
He's not going to be on the cover of Elle, no matter what. Is it like,
yeah.
So the fact that he's there, that's Rihanna that's put man there.
I'm saying I feel that there's nothing unmasculine about that. You know what I'm saying?
But what I mean is, it's not about masculine and feminine. I'm saying
that's what people are saying.
If they ever get split up, he's gonna be the one getting the money because it's not based on.
And the internet's gonna go crazy, even if they don't.
Because people like her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and don't love him the same way
you
they
said
love
they won't
her.
go crazy the same way. No,
I'm saying they're going to be going crazy on him.
No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna be boosting him. They're like, yes, like they're gonna be excited,
will be, but I'm saying people she's more popular than him.
She's loved.
So the people around the world be like, why is this bum taking her money? He hasn't even bought out good album for years. The comments will be mad.
It'll be like, oh, look, when it's a woman, everyone's celebrating, everyone's standing up for her.
Yeah, because there's been a few them that have done it, and none of us like them. Britney Spears, this guy. You know what I'm saying? There's a few people that
the man have done it.
Yeah, a few men that
good for them,
getting
though.
big
Good.
P.
Listen. A couple people thought, because I stand up for women, couple comments thought, I'm not gonna think the man should take it if the woman makes more money.
But the things you gave earlier, a lot of them men can't do.
What do you mean?
So the reasons you said, like what a woman contributes to the home, like raising children.
If a man does,
but if he's not,
maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. But if he contribute,
so if he's got like a nanny looking after the kids, he's doing his rap tours, and he's in the studio,
and it's all flopping, and he's just like
he's got
PlayStation.
My baby father's a mixtape rapper, you know what I'm saying? He's just like in Camden hustling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, then maybe he shouldn't take half. But then maybe I would say the same about a woman who was doing nothing. Do you know what I'm saying?
But it's like, I don't know.
So every situation's different, isn't it?
If there's no kids involved at all, because that's what's really going on with this Israel one, isn't it? They cohabited, so it was like, it wasn't marriage. Yeah. But it was just like...
What's his name?
Israel. So, I can't pronounce his
surname. So that's a new story
that
came out. He's saying that he has done the same thing and he was bigging up my man, yeah?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what the news was today.
I just saw the story that his ex-girlfriend is claiming money off.
So he was bigging up my man and saying, yeah, I've also protected my money. He didn't say how, but he's like, yeah. I've also, we're going to get to whether that's even true anyway, real soon. But yeah, you might want to look up them fact-checking websites, my bro.
I didn't believe it from day dot because he had some dodgy charges and she left him. I felt like this is PR. You know, when the ones keep man in the game.
Let's keep with the comments. So did you read out a couple now? So
yeah, it's your turn, man. I can't be reading all of them. And some of them are essays, but people, you don't have to. You don't have to write everything, innit? Like,
no, this is this is the essay you were saying, Sandra Miriam Lee.
Yeah, I'm not reading that.
I'm gonna read it, man.
Go hard.
It is long though, but they're telling their story.
I'm gonna relax for a bit while you read it still.
Right, like man reading your story and that. Why for that?
Yeah. Why for that? Pause.
I can't start saying that on that show. I don't even. You know what I'm saying, I don't really support them. That kind of the origins of them terms. But alright, cool. Sarah Miriam Lee. I've been with my husband for 22 years this year. We started from the bottom. We have 3 children. As a woman and his wife, my job is to love him, praise him, encourage him, respect him, love him, uplift him, care for him, do my best for him, feed him, look after him, etc. Not expecting anything in return. Them man that was hating are just loving this comment, and they're thinking like that's what it's supposed to be. But I wouldn't want half of his money. I wouldn't want half of his money or belongings if we was to ever divorce, even though that wouldn't happen. But my husband on the other side tells me what's his is mine, and I know for a fact he would give me half of everything if we ever decided to split. He appreciates me as his wife, and he appreciates the devotion and sacrifices I have made for him as a wife and mother. We are not rich yet, but we are very comfortable financially, and I know regardless, he would never leave me out. That's what I think marriage and love is about. I've got more to say, but I'll leave it there. I had more to say.
Yeah. So, also, it's that one, especially like, I don't know, especially in my family, like the relationships that the married people had, it's not, I don't know, this snaky, she's gonna take my pee. The women in my family had the back of the men in my family, and the men had the back of the women in my family. You know what I'm saying? To death. Like the vow says, isn't it? So it's like not necessarily about like when their lives was at risk, they had each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you thinking at that level, then why would you even want her to go with nothing? Who is this?
And there's the situation. If we're talking about cheating or she done something wrong, all of that, we can look at where it's different. And maybe some comments saying that, but it's like, this is my thing. I'm calling this out, saying you man are mad. You don't want the woman to get nothing, yeah? To the red pillars. So these red pillars are like, they're the ones that always want to talk about me and the guys that support this kind. Men are not being men anymore. So I'm flipping it on them. Men are not being men anymore. You don't want to provide for your wife and the mother of your children. You don't want to. Men should want to do that. You're crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You should want to be able to. The problem is, we're talking about men who are not in a position to do so. So they're already angry about their finances. So the idea of it sends them crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? But they're not deep in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
and also, you know, they also feel, I don't know, a lot of man them, especially shout out to the broke man them.
Yeah.
My G's, you know the ones. Don't be alright, don't worry. These times, a lot of broke man them feel like they can't get gal because they're broke.
Yeah.
So they're already feeling like, these lot just want men with money.
Yeah.
But they're not. A lot of you just move to gal. They will still talk to you. I don't know why you're not doing it. Cause a lot of you rejecting yourselves before you even said hello to any gal, or you're trying to move to gal that's too peng for you and you ain't got no game or no. Anyway, let me stop. But these times here, at the same time, they feel rejected because they ain't drawing.
Yeah.
And they're broke. So now, any gal that's with a rich man is their ops. For some reason.
Oh yeah, she's an op because she's with him. She's not with me. She's with him because he's got money.
You know what I'm saying?
Because she's after his money.
So it's like,
that's a deep part of it, you know.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's underneath it. You know what I'm saying?
Underneath it is they hating the woman because that woman won't be with them.
She wants the rich guy, and now the rich guy's got one over on her. The rich guy's got one over on her. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you went with that rich guy and he boyed you.
Yeah.
Left the man for a moped.
Listen, I know a gal that what's it? Anyway, I'm just saying this gal that left big criminals for like bums. I'm just saying
but there's one other debate. It's just made me think of on the spot. Yeah, I saw this debate. I can't remember I'm going on a podcast. I'm going on another podcast later this month. It's the more online thing, but they have like online debates like us, like post stuff on Facebook. And I think at some point they asked, there was something about a guy buying his baby mother a house. Not with her no more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like he's over here, maybe, I don't know, new relation or what, not together, nothing going on. And he was buying her a house. And like he was bragging, like big saying, I want to do this. And people were like, would you do this? Is he simping? Do you know what I'm saying? And people in the comments were saying, yeah, he's simping. Some more were saying he's not than I thought. But I commented on it and it's mad because around that time, there's a girl I was talking to at the time, yeah? And she had said that her baby father had said that to her. Had been like driving with her and was like, they've gone past some big house and he was like, one day I'm gonna buy your house like that. And he's married and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So they're proper, not got nothing going on and boom, boom, boom. And he's like, you know, you're gonna look after my child forever and da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Because she was kind of taken back, innit? And he was like, and I think he does well, like he's in property, so that's his kind of his thing or whatever. So I was like, nah, rate that. You know what I'm saying? Like you should. And so I commented underneath. I was like, every man should want to be able to do that. I'm not saying everyone should, because you have to be mad rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But also, it's like, especially when you was with her, you probably couldn't. And so now, and you know, things is still amicable. It's like, this is what I would have done for you if I could have at the time for what you've done for me.
No, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
It got man thinking. It's just mad, innit? I was like, right, like if he was in that position, like my daughter lives with me generally. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think if say I won the lottery, I'd probably buy my baby mother's house. You know what I'm saying? And go, there you go. That's for you. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't have to think about
patterned, and that goes to my daughter one day anyway.
That's the thing. Your baby mama gonna leave your stuff to who? Who should leave it to your kids, innit? It's wild, innit? I don't know. Man, them feel like, but I've thought about it, and I think it's like, man, them, the gold digger thing. It's also these women are anonymous, and also that man ain't getting no girl. You know what I'm saying? But man ain't getting no girl, so it's like. And a lot of you rejected yourself. I'm telling you the truth. You should just go out there, go wherever space.
You're getting into the pickup artist territory now. There's one of these brothers at this thing.
I ain't got no tricks in it, but I'm just saying, go say hello in it. Like,
I agree
before
with
you're
that
like, I'm so good.
I agree with that part a lot. I agree with that part a lot. Do just go out and do your thing. Wise needs a mic, you know. Wise needs the clip on.
Nah, just a quick thing though. I think sometimes what it is like, you see like, man been talking about, taking half a wife, whatever.
Yeah.
Man been thinking of, but you're gonna go date this man. You can date whoever you want, but you're up. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, why ain't you just...
Biggie, innit?
Yeah.
Go spend it with that.
Yeah, go find a new one, innit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what.
And that's definitely...
So like,
that's definitely.
This is what man was saying. This one. When I was saying you should want to give make sure your wife's looked after. Man will come to me in comments like, "Rah, you're gonna give your wife half your money that you made, and now next man's dicking her down in your house, and all of this, and he's like I'm saying, she's buying him a PlayStation, and I'm like, bro, I was like to tell these man though, listen, and he's not paying no rent, and I'm like, listen. Pull up. That's the opposite. That might be the opposite to what I just said, but it's what made me think of it. Because wait a minute, I'm like, you man are so insecure that that's what you're scared of. If I'm rich, I'm rich, and I'm married to a woman who was wanting to be with someone who's secure and used to a lifestyle, which I don't think there's nothing wrong with wanting. You think she's taking half a guy to marry a bum? You know what I'm saying? And paying for him, it's not happening, bro. Like, it's unlikely. You know what I'm saying? It's unlikely, but you're so paranoid in your head. That's the man that are just on their girl's phone who you're talking to. Like you think the cleaner's beating her. And, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
and she say even if she's doing that, that's not going to be her long-term pick.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's not going to be her life, innit?
She's not. Yeah, it's not really that, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm taking the PS5 and the pants she let me wear with holes in.
Speak up. Read that properly, man.
Who's Gary Butler? Gary Brian Butler. I don't know who he is. Yeah.
No, he's a writer, mate.
I'm taking the PS5 and the pants she let me wear with the holes in. Met her with the same pants holding a PS1. Yo, man, ended up. You know what I'm saying? But that's gold. I can't lie, Gary. That's a bit gold diggerish. You came there with a PS1. Why are you leaving with big PS5? You should come with what you're left with. You know what I'm saying? Leave with what you come with, whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Take the PS3. You know what I'm saying?
Then he said, sorry, in regards to your actual question, I do not know way too many scenarios. What I do know is that I keep seeing people comment about women being punished for leaving and breaking up a happy home, and it just creeps me out a bit. Reminds me of the Victorian times when women were treated as property with no rights. Thought we'd come along a lot further in society, but clearly not.
That was Charlotte Pearson, right?
There's no.
Yeah, you didn't read. You read the second half. That thing was a long essay, so I literally only clipped 2 parts of it. Yeah?
It come above the. It come under the Gary thing. I thought Gary wrote that.
She was responding to someone Bugsy Malone, right? I don't know if I even screenshotted Bugsy Malone's comments, but obviously he was.
Which Bugsy Malone?
Just someone called Bugsy Malone.
Oh,
on Facebook.
Not the rapper.
I don't think I've saved enough of the actual comments that was actually like coming on the other side, like and dissing. But she was cussing Bugsy Malone, saying. She was saying it is unpaid work, right?
Yeah.
Housework.
Unpaid labor, that's what it's called.
What women often do in the house, men do it too, but what we're talking about, women often do in the house, she's saying it is unpaid work, and yes, they contribute equally, if not more, to the household. And then she says, as Phil Latio said, I think we've got one of his comments to read, all this attitude of punishing someone for breaking up a household is red flag. In fact, your whole comment is full of them. Starting with the bigger half part. There can only be 2 equal halves. It's basic maths. Without sounding like a dick, I don't even like correcting people as not everyone is good at math, but your comment offended me, so meh. I think what you meant was the bigger portion percentage share. My point is that many people suffer from various forms of abuse within marriages, and it's ignorant statements like this that have a lot of them staying in these situations. Capital letters, bigger picture.
I can't lie, yeah. So one of the main reasons people get divorced, is like unpaid labor. So one person will be doing bare the housework and the other person won't be doing none of it, and that leads to a lot of breakups in general, like
because they argue about it.
Yeah, and also it's like I can't just be working for you all day long, like, and you don't do nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in this house, gotta see what percentage of men do you think are just breadwinners and their wife don't work?
Yeah, in this day and age,
They just don't live. Most people don't live like that, innit? So it's just like more time. Both people are working, and then one person will be doing more labor, innit?
Yeah.
And so usually that person wants to leave. You know what I'm saying?
The person who is doing most labor and working.
Yeah.
Like this is a whole bit of debate that I don't think we've got into in any comics, but yeah, I think like the way society is set up right now, it's not set up for marriage in the way that these guys have got in their head, innit?
Yeah.
Because they got this, like, the way, like, bills are so high and income is so low compared to, you know, our parents and grandparents' generations. Both people are most likely working. Do you know what I'm saying?
Everyone's thousands of pounds poorer than their parents and grandparents. Like, in real terms, how much they earn.
And we still have this kind of mindset in our head that women should do most housework.
But women have to go out and work with us, innit?
Yeah. So
where you ever work where they weren't women?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they're outside working now. It's 50-50. Everyone is working. Everyone got jobs, innit? Because we're all breasts. Yeah. Told you, I got PhD in broke people. And women are broke people too.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, man. But man them don't really, man them are, what do you call it? They're nostalgic for a time they never lived, innit? And even in them times, I'm gonna keep it real with you, most women was working, innit? It was a tiny minority of women, white women, middle class and upper class white women that didn't get to work. Most women of color in the world had to work. Most women, like poor white women in this country, had to work. In fact, the whole family will be working together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. We're harking for a lifestyle that was sold to us in movies that most of our families never lived. You know what I'm saying?
Only a tiny percent of people, like now, literally only like rich celebrities and, you know what I'm saying? Like
1%.
Super rich
and
people.
Even of those rich celebrities, most of their wives are working.
So, the mad thing, so there's so much more for the actual story to get to. Yeah, I wanted to read comments before doing it, but okay. His wife, right? What's her name? Let's make sure we say her name on the air and all of that properly. But, so her name is Hiba Abu. So she's filed for divorce, right? She's an actress. I think they're from Spain. They live in France, but they're from Spain, right? So she's a Spanish actress. She's worth $3 million. So she's not broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there was some point at this, when people found that out, they got real excited and went, shame. He's worth less than her because he's been putting the money to his mum. She got to give him half. And they started celebrating even more. And they were telling it like it's a real story, like there's a real, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, this light just turned off, by the way.
We lost the light?
We lost it.
We're cool, we're all good.
Yeah, I saw people celebrating that, actually. I completely forgot about that. And also that she was older than him. People were like, see, he was taken advantage of, but he managed to. I was
so don't get me wrong, all of them factors are to come into play. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if there was a situation where, I think if there's a situation where someone's cheating, if this person cheating, then maybe she shouldn't be entitled to at least the same amount, maybe nothing. I don't know, do you know what I'm saying? But if the man's cheating, like if you're saying, you know, if they're divorcing because of infidelity, 100%, she needs to be super looked after. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's so crazy. Them rich people don't even really think about cheating and stuff like that. Bill Gates had a girlfriend his wife knew about the whole time they were married.
That's cool. That's cool because you know what's going on.
It's not cheating.
It's not cheating like that. Yeah. But what I'm saying, so this situation, it became apparent that the footballer in question has an R charge against him currently. Currently.
That's what I heard first.
He has, or it's like preliminary charges while there's an investigation, So he has some form of charges for an art accusation by a woman that happened in their home, this home with the wife. He brought a woman into the house. They've had a situation, whatever. She's made an accusation. It has turned out, I mean, at first I was just like, well, wait a minute. If that's the reason she's divorcing him and you man are celebrating it, this is wild. And certain man, I was calling them out for that. Like, yo, you're backing this guy where, and then they're like, yeah, but he might not have done it. He might not, and it's got into that whole women lie kind of thing, But even if he potentially done that, and that's why the wife has left him, then it's mental that we're celebrating, like, her being basically conned out of money she's legally entitled to. My thing is this. that is the legal requirement of money of marriage. It is a legal contract. Yeah, this is something I said in the comments. I think, it's my opinion, getting married or even having a commitment of a lifetime relationship with somebody, you are joining your commitment to your assets, and it's a financial agreement. And I think the reason that a lot of marriages end nowadays is because we have forgotten that part. And we don't go in with our head screwed on what. And I think someone pointed out to me the other day that men are more like, actually men are less like switched on about what ifs, because they just in love and go in to marriage with like maybe a lot of ego, but not to make it a negative thing, like just a lot of high expectations. This is never going to end. And women are a bit more ready. So they're like, women when the thing comes, the divorce papers come out, like, and there was someone breaking down the reason that women are a bit more financially prepared generally. Like they got their head clued on about money a bit more. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, they know when they're going into this marriage what it means for them financially, yeah? And how it impacts their life, and what if it goes wrong, what's it gonna have to be? When men are not ready for that when it comes, they're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they are, because like we said, none of these celebrities that we will go mad about these stories, we never actually hear them complaining. They might be fine with it. But a lot of these other men that are talking about it are not, obviously.
Yeah, and also, I don't know, financial difficulty and that, little things like who does the work in the house. Yeah. Those type of things are just split up couples, innit? It's just hard to stay with people.
So this is my thing. I think we just got to have our heads screwed on way better when we're going into a relationship or into a marriage, of knowing how does this benefit me financially? And I mean the men too. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so the men should be going into a relationship going, how does this situation... And but
it sounds cynical, innit? It just takes...
No, it should. But
and then there's a bunch of propaganda in it, so every rom-com, every Disney film, it's all this love,
and this is what they're worried about,
big romantic love.
But I'm saying,
and then if men start talking like, if women start talking like, well, I'm just thinking practically about this thing.
No, but we all got to be practical when you're getting
married. I think so too.
I'm saying, I think the entire purpose of marriage, because no one don't need a contract, love don't need a contract. So most of these people are like, it should be about love. Okay, love don't need a contract, so why you get married? Yeah, okay, there's religious things coming to it, etc., etc. But I think the main reason for getting married,
God and money.
The main reason to get, God and security. Because the reason to be with one partner is security in a lot of ways. So it's like you have to have that security for whatever you build together to be evenly worked out if it goes wrong. Like, it just has to. So I'm saying men got to go into relationships practical. How is this benefiting me financially? And we have to respect the unpaid labor more, innit? Like, you have to realize if a woman's doing all your things for you in your home, if you're actually lucky enough if that's what you want, I guess, calling it lucky, you know what I'm saying? But it seems to be what a lot of these guys want. If that's the situation you're able to have, then respect what's being done, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, like, even just sex, you know what I'm saying? Even just sex, yeah? Bro, pussy is mad valuable, Like, it's mad. Like, even just, you know how much money man wastes chasing pussy?
Yeah, and just regular sex.
If your sex life is, like, patterned and, like, you know how much that can regulate you, like, emotionally and leave you able to work and make money?
Psychologically.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You're walking to work with your head
especially
high.
The way, like, and I'm not saying that's, like, nature or anything to do with how men are. I'm saying we're over sexualized as a society. I'm not saying it's even nature.
But yeah, even in the reverse, reverse, Rihanna's getting dick right now. It's important. She needs it to make good albums so she can enjoy her clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's real. It is, man. It's real, and it's like it's valuable. You know what I'm saying? It's real valuable to you. I'm saying like being satisfied sexually in your life, man or woman, you're right. It's valuable to you. It's real valuable. That's real valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like. But them guys would be like, oh, you ain't done nothing, but, you know what I'm saying, wash up and fuck, you know what I'm saying, and make it into some slut shaming thing. Like, so that's just my thing, innit? But I'm saying we need to go into relationships knowing what we are benefiting from this. And I know what the problem is even these men might go, all right, I'll work out what I'm benefiting from this financially. And if it is, cool, I got pussy, a clean house, someone looking after my kids, everything's patterned, I'm able to make loads of money from doing this. So that's benefiting me financially because I'm making this money. then they might make a counter argument that, but then if she divorced, I just lost half of it. So that didn't benefit me financially. Do you know what I'm saying? But this is why. But then no, like you're single now. Yeah, so you no longer have those benefits. Go and find a new woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you need in your life, which I think it is something that makes sense for us all to do, then go find a new woman, start it again. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like, and everyone gets a chance to get what's right, what's fair to be theirs. And every situation is different. I ain't out here saying she gets half immediately. Every situation is different. We work out what's fair.
Man, shouldn't be so angry when anyone gets anything.
Yeah, we just shouldn't be so angry. That's it. I'm not saying any this is what it has to be. It's just the man that are angry. It's just a bit mad. And when there's an R charge involved and you're still angry and you're still ready to back that guy to the end, see a therapist, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because you know what, also, they got the story, gave them the little up, and then as details start coming up, they're like, oh, well, let's ignore that part. Let's try and find other parts that make us happy. Oh, she's 8 years older than him. How dare she?
And like I'm saying, I'm not saying there's no conversations to be had here.
I don't know, man. Because, like, bruh, 8 years, 10 years, it's a girl. She's his wife. It's like, he chose that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but if a guy gets with a girl and he's 10 years older, I'm not like, so why would I be that? In the reverse?
We're never like that other way. But they love saying, you're always like this other way. But we're not. We're not. Nobody says nothing about it, man.
I think he got divorced because he did something foul.
Who? She did.
He did. I think the
footballer.
Yeah.
She divorced him
because he did something foul.
Well, what she said, she's made a statement saying that they were kind of separated. They kind of agreed to separate because they were not seeing eye to eye. The marriage is not working out, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where they were at. But she hadn't really took no stages, no steps to actually divorce. They just were separated. Mm-hmm. People get separated and end up, until you do that thing.
And then he caught the charge.
And then he caught the R charge, and then she decided. That's what it looks like. She didn't say that part specifically, but she did say, she does mention it in there. She's like, then this came up. It might be actually quoted from her. I can't remember. But it's in the article and it's in a lot of articles that this is the final nail in the coffin. And she made out a message of solidarity to the victim. And even if he didn't, even if he's innocent of that crime he's accused of, right? He still slept with that woman. He did cheat. You know what I'm saying? We know that part. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
But now when you're separated, is it cheating?
Okay, fair point.
I want to know this research you've done on this case because I feel like you've been dangling it, for like an hour. I've been waiting.
It's time. It's time. All right.
So what I'm saying, is the story true? Or what is true in the story?
This is what I'm saying. This is the maddest part.
How did it come out?
I wanted to get some comments of mans I was really, really going at it with and just...
You never left...
Because I kept telling these man, this story's fake, You know this is a fake story and you're getting gassed about it. My only problem is the fact you're getting gassed about it. It's a fake story. I was just saying that because I just felt like it. And then, there's one other thing that came out. The mum came out and made a statement,
Yeah, that is
the mum
true.
went, I don't know what they're talking about. This has never happened. But she did say, so what if he did, then he would, you know what I mean, be able to get away from that woman. You know what I'm saying? She's sending shots. Obviously,
she picked her side.
Do you know what I'm saying? But, so there is a website. Hold up. I have not got good signal in here. This is going to mash me up. Am I not going to be able to get this part up? We're having bare technicals today,
Maybe I should read some more comments.
So I went to search fact check, and a lot of people diss fact check websites, but I found this fact check website called Dabawa. I think it's called Dabawa. I thought it was Dubawa. I thought it stood for something because it was all in capitals, but actually I think that word means to check. So it's like this is a Nigerian fact check website, right? And they was really about this, really showing their source. This is mad. I literally can't get the website up.
Oh, shit.
I'm definitely making edits in this episode, man. There's definitely edits in this episode. Fact check, yeah?
Yeah.
So let me start this again, yeah? Fact check. So I was like, all right, let's actually look into this story. Did this actually even happen? So I'm searching fact check websites. Yeah, I'm like fact check. Boom, I found this website, Dubawa, yeah, Dubawa, which I thought it was an acronym or something, but I found out this word means to check. It's a Nigerian fact check website. And people don't like fact check websites. Them conspiracy guys are like, forget them websites. But this thing seems legit. They source everything, and they actually write on their thing like, if you want us to check something, shout us. Like, boom, like they all that.
I'm gonna send them
like
stuff to
send them something. We should start doing it every episode. Like,
I've got things for them to check, man. I'm very curious.
They're saying, I can't read this whole article, but yeah, fact check. Viral Achraf Hakimi Hiba a book divorce settlement posts fake. Is it fake? That's what they're asking, yeah? They're saying boom, boom, boom. They actually, I'm just going to get back. I'm not going to answer if they said it was fake because they do say it straight away. So we're going to go, all right, so they used the thing called CrowdTangle, yeah, which I looked up. This is a thing that searches all social media and finds like every post about a word or a person. So boom. So the Dubawa searched all public mentions of Achraf Hakimi between April 7th and April 14th, 2023. And the oldest post that captures the viral information, the information in this story, is attributed to a page called Papa Ado, yeah? The page posted the material at 8 minutes past 8 p.m. on April the 13th, 2023, and has since garnered over 76,000 reactions to date. Facebook's transparency feature shows that the page is managed from Ivory Coast and has nearly 450,000 followers. The owners, however, state in the page's description that they are the parody account of Ivory Coast's president, Alassane Ouattara, and are mainly for humor and satire.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
The whole thing was a joke.
As can be seen in the screenshot below. Yeah, and so anyone who wants to search this, you go and search, yeah? You just go and Google Achraf Hakimi Dubawa, and this article is going to come up, and you'll see all of the screenshots in this thing proving, yeah, that is the first place this story was posted on a joke website. It's always the case really with these things. It often is, but this one's actually been reported in quite a few places. But I noticed at the beginning, like, this ain't in the BBC. Yeah, not that I'm bigging up the BBC and saying they're the truth, but it's not in mainstream. It wasn't really in mainstream sources. It's on Shade Room.
And it's being discussed on YouTube pages and on even in Shade Room, it's like someone talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, the next part, yeah. Records from CrowdTangle show that several other Facebook pages republished that exact post by Papa Adu minutes after. Yeah,
wow.
Like this, which was published at 8 minutes 12 p.m. and this at 8 minutes 14 p.m. and they got all screenshots. People just copy the same post, didn't it?
Yeah.
Most early pages that subsequently shared the information were from Ivory Coast. Records from CrowdTangle further showed that pages managed in Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa, Kenya, and many other African countries, including the Central African Republic, have republished this information, with some giving additional unsubstantiated twists.
Nova, you're not gonna blame Africa.
No, it's not about that though. It's not about that. Where's the guy from though? Where's he from?
Spain, no?
He's Moroccan.
Oh, okay.
He's Moroccan.
Also, he is African.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think they was in Spain when they got married. The reason the Spain thing come up, I think they were from Spain. Like they met there or whatever, and they now live in France. The only reason I mentioned that, it was actually because we were looking at their divorce laws.
Okay.
So yeah, but he plays for Morocco, I think. So I think that's why it's
a parody account. It's people busting joke.
There's more though. So using Twitter's advanced search feature, the original source of information was traced to First Mag Levray, which tweeted at 9:12 p.m. So this is an hour later, I guess, on April 13th, 2003, about an hour after Papa Ado's Facebook page had made the post. This tweet has since reached 9 million people and reached over 100,000 reactions. The account has blah, blah followers operating from the Ivory Coast. So that tweet is what blew up. You know what I'm saying? But they're showing it came from this other Facebook stuff before. It was a joke.
That's hilarious.
And I don't think anybody knows this shit. I haven't seen nobody. I found that out today. That's why I saved it. I was like, are you crazy?
That's a mad. Do you know what though? I do see that happen sometimes. Like so sometimes I see people share crazy tweets, where it's just like, this is a madness. Who wrote this? And then I go and check the page, the actual Twitter, and it's a parody, but someone's posted the parody as if it's... And so that happens occasionally. I can't lie, I've seen it happening.
But I'm just saying, like, so all you man got so angry at this woman saying, how dare she ask for half? We don't even know what she asked for. Like, none of it, we have no information. Do you know what else? I think somewhere in that it says that we don't actually have any, like, there's no court information. We don't know. Like, she might have filed. I think because she said
it's probably not public.
She said she's filed papers. I don't think there's been any development in this. She's filed papers and made a Instagram post about it. I don't think there's been any request for anything. There's no evidence of it if there is.
That's hilarious. But you know, it was just a lot of good stories that the truth in them don't matter at all, and that's how most of them work.
It's not a good story, bro.
Like, it's just a good story because it got people worked up.
No, it's a good story for them, for those like haters and misogynists. It's a good story for them.
I'm saying, I see man, women, and children gassing over that story. Everyone felt like there was like,
yeah, but bro, women carry on misogyny. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
yeah. So it's like I saw a lot of people love that. That story was going about on social media all week, and it's not like every story that drops lasts a week, innit? So it's like people enjoyed it because it's like, oh, he gave to his mother, he took away from this gold digger. You know what I'm saying? There has a lot of beats to the story where it's like, oh, people were rooting for him without knowing anything, and the whole thing's a lie.
But I'm saying,
people busting jokes.
Saying, it just showed the state of society right now and the things we've got to challenge. That's my own thing. It's like, it wasn't even true. They created a story because they knew that it's not actually a joke. Like we're saying, it's a parody. It's not a joke. It was fake news.
Yeah.
For the purpose of creating this reaction. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they know they knew you post this story. Okay. Oh my God, he's done this.
I thought you were saying parody, like they told the story
like
this is ridiculous, so we're telling this story like that no one will believe. You mean they did it like...
No, I think they knew the outcome. Do you know what I'm saying? They knew the outcome. I think it's designed. But what I'm saying is it's not true, innit? It's designed and you all fell for it. And whatever they actually do in a divorce, who knows? You know what I'm saying? It's the fact you lot were mad about it, and the fact you lot wanted to support a man who's got an R charge against him, and all of them kind of, you lot are mad. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. There's bare other stuff we was going to say in this podcast, and bare other
things to discuss. But we'll do that next time.
We have to wrap it. I mean, maybe I'll just look at some of them and just say, I wanted to listen. I had a couple beefs. I was going to do the beefs early.
We have definitely not got time for your beefs.
Joe Bratt, got in with him. He cancelled himself. Literally, he's been cancelled. I don't believe in cancel culture, and I accidentally cancelled someone. I went at it with Global Faction in the last few weeks. Not going to get into that. Wasn't really going to anyway, but I just wanted to mention it. And there's been some UK hip-hop debates beefs going on from the group, and I just want to say big up Mike B, man. Mike B is my guy. Sometimes we go back and forth, but big up Mike B. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up Luke Maverick as well, and just the whole team. But big up Sam Gregory and KO as well. I'm not going to get into all that, man. Let's have some peace and harmony. Do you know what I'm saying? And big up Terror Slim. We've been trying to squash that as well. But yeah.
Shout out to Mike B. Shout out to Terror Slim.
I wanted to talk about the Nines album and Praz's international fraud case, Tory Lane's new trial being rejected, but we have no time. So I'm going to just say big thank you to Mr Snappy's for having us in this amazing shop and amazing space, because it just looks so good for us to sit here and talk. And if you want some custom-made hats,
this is definitely the best place in
There's
England.
nowhere better you could make it happen, man.
Yeah, there's no place.
Fliplife.co.uk, leave a comment, we'll read it out next time. Send us some money. I don't know if the money thing works. If it don't work,
we'll work it out.
Inbox me, I'll send you my PayPal.
All right, bang.